I'm Richard Lewis reporting for Cadred.org. I'm here with an ever increasingly familiar face. It's Fifflaren from the Ninjas in Pyjamas, and they've just got their way into the final. So I guess the first question I want to ask is, with the fact that you've moved into the ESWC final, are we now starting to see this team really becoming a dynasty, you know, one that's going to have a lot of titles under its belt, say, in 6 months' time?
It really depends. I mean, we came in, we made this team to win, and you know, we always want to win. Before this event, we practiced hard, and you can really show that it's paying off. We're playing better and better for each event that we're attending. So, in regards to that, we're going to try and stay on top as you know, long as possible. But teams are improving. You know, like for example, if you compare this event to say DreamHack Valencia, the turnout here is a lot harder. Yeah. We didn't really have an easy group stage match. The semifinals, even though we won, was like 16-7, 65, and Faculty is a really good team, and I mean, they wouldn't be here unless they deserve to be here.
A lot of people have been saying, well, I say a lot, probably a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what it's like, it seems a lot when people are talking shit on the internet. They've been saying that, you know, oh, you guys just have more hours than everybody else. That's the only reason. And when everyone catches up, then we're going to really see who the good players are. What do you think about that?
Yeah, of course, like Steam hours, yeah, it does make a difference. Like, we had more time to play the game, but I think it's gone to the point now where it's just a bad excuse. I mean, we made a choice to switching over maybe a little bit earlier than everyone else, but I mean, as of right now, if you just look at the, let's say, HLTV interviews, when they listed the Steam hours, they're not really that far behind, and then it just comes down to which is the better team, you know, and then I feel that we have a very good, solid team of 5 very good players, and you know, we win because we are better, and you know, we practice hard. It's not because we have more hours.
Do you feel that the kind of community are now warming to you more? Because we've still got a bit of a division within the CSGO community. There's still spectres of the 1.6 and CSS divide, but you seem to be the representatives of 1.6 now because of the name and some of the players you've got in your squad, and when you win, the 1.6 fans who were booing you are now cheering you on because you're making Source people look bad. Did you feel that you know, has happened, or do you still get some hate thrown your way?
There's always going to be haters. Like, it doesn't matter if we end up winning every single event for like 3 years running. There's always going to be haters out there, and like you have to keep in mind that, yeah, we did, for example, take a very famous name, and you know, and we stole 3 1.6ers from 1.6 to CSGO. So there's always going to be people like, okay, well, we want them to play 1.6, but you know, at the end of the day, they chose to start playing CSGO for a reason. So it's really up to them, and I really hope that, you know, we're going to see less haters at least, because the game is getting bigger, and it will be one of the major titles for, you know, some of the upcoming events. So it means a lot for us as well when we have people that's supportive, not only of us as a team, but also for the scene itself. You know, we, like everyone that plays Counter-Strike, doesn't matter if it's 1.6, CS Source, Counter-Strike Go, it's Counter-Strike, and we love Counter-Strike. That's what we're trying to aim for as well. This is also why us in NiP, we always try to be very supportive when it comes to basically everything, because we know how important it is to try and, you know, grow the scene as much as possible.
Did anything surprise you in the group stages? Have you been surprised at how the tournament panned out? Like maybe ESC not getting through? I mean, well, what have you made of it all in terms of what it says about the current state of the CSGO scene?
I think as for example, our groups, we knew that we had a pretty tough group. Like, you know, Group B was more random; it could go either way. But for us, like, you know, we had Mousesports, for example. We also had Area 51, as well as Target Down, who's been boot camping in Sweden for God knows how long. So, as for our groups, it was actually pretty hard. You know, it was fun to play Area 51 as well. Especially, you know, there's always going to be people like, we need to conquer the world. Yep. You know, we played Very Games last time, we beat them. We also had Team Target Down from Brazil. We beat them, and now Area 51. So it's always nice to see, like, and it's always good for us to know that, okay, we're not just top of the European scene, you know, we're top of the world. As for upsets and whatnot, I think the major upset would be N Faculty advancing instead of, for example, FM Toxic and Nexus. ESC, yeah, we know that they play a lot better on LAN, but we also know that they're new to the scene. If you compare them to everyone else that's been playing, they would have a lot harder to advance. But it was a shock that FM Toxic or Nexus didn't advance though.
You seem to be the team that have obviously are doing the best at the moment and have got into the final. You also seem to have been a team that have been quiet and not really critical of how the tournament's been run. Is that a coincidence? Have you found it to be bad here, or do you think you just have to adapt when things aren't right?
The thing is, we will have zero problems at this event. Like everything's been on time, everything's been smooth for us. Like we didn't have any problems at all. The stage match, they let us set up 1 hour early. We set everything up, everything's fine. Same with the computers here. So like the only thing I can say is that since they're very strict, you're not even allowed to go to the bathroom if need be. So then you're gonna have to cross your legs and hope that you win by a lot. No, but that's the only thing I can say. That the event so far for us has been awesome. So we can't really say anything bad about it.
What have you thought about it from a spectator point of view? Obviously, we've had CS:GO TVs here now, and it's doing reasonably well. I saw it used on the big screen a few times. There's been some decent crowds, and obviously we've had people streaming back home. I haven't really looked at the numbers, so you might have a better idea about that. So, I mean, do you think with Valve kind of promoting this and having the free, CS:GO weekend, all while it's been happening, has this been an amazing week for the development of CS:GO?
Yeah, it really has. Like, I mean, from the launch of CS:GO TV, before that, the only thing you could rely on would be streams. But now, they're making the weekend free, and you can actually go in, you can spectate the games, you can see that the game, as everyone thinks, it's really not that bad. And, I think they have 6 CS:GO developers here. They really want to make the game a lot better, even though like right now, yeah, there's some changes that needs to be done, there's some bugs and whatnot, but they're trying really hard to please everyone. We have to keep in mind the competitive scene is small compared to the whole scene, so they need to make sure that they balance both of them. Even though like from our side, yeah, of course we just want to make it competitive. It doesn't work that way in a perfect world. As for CS:GO TV, I think that it's been good. I haven't really watched the game on CS:GO TV, but I've heard from others, as long as you change up to it and whatnot, it works fine. And I think as for the number of specs, for the stage match today, for example, we had 4,000 people just here alone, just watching us play mouse sports on stage. And then yesterday in group play, we had, I think, in total 18,000 viewers. That's including, of course, streams and also in-game. But you're gonna see like 18,000 on a group game match. That's not bad.
Not bad. Well, what about, you said Valve employees were here and there was kind of a little party thing the other day. Are we going to see Valve, do you think, behave a bit more like Riot and start turning up to the events and supporting the esports kind of tour, if you like? Or do you think this is kind of just a bit of a one-off just to show that they haven't forgotten about us at the launch of a new game?
No, I think that they're trying to do this like more often now, more on occasion. I know that they're going to attend DreamHack Winter as well. So I think that they're trying to be more like Riot in regards to that, try to open up to the community a little bit more. I was talking to them earlier about, just this whole thing for them posting up HLTV IPs in-game. That's something that they've never done before, and that's something that it's needed. Like we really, and I told them as well, we really need them to be more involved, and that this is what they're trying to do as well. They have it, and they know it as well. So they are really trying.
So just final question before I let you get back to chilling before the big game. How do you see the final going? I mean, you must have an inkling about how it's going to pan out. Are you guys feeling confident? Do you have any set game plans? Are we going to see some new tactics? How have you been approaching it?
Well, as of right now, I think it's 1-1 in maps in Very Games versus Area 51. So I mean,
but you will be playing VG again. I mean, that's my gut feeling. That's who you've prepared for, surely.
We don't really try to prepare for anything. Like we're not the kind of team that goes in and watches games and try to anti-strat or whatnot. Yeah, there's a slight chance that Very Games will be the the other finalists, but for this event alone, we haven't watched a single game that they've been playing, mainly because like we play our own game. We're not trying to counter anyone. And I think is something that's working for us. And I think that's something that, for example, most people, especially most teams, like you said as well, as of the DreamHack Valencia and also iOS and the online, we had a lot of players or a lot of teams spectate, and I think that they feel that they know how we play, even though like we're the kind of team that we go in on a game, we talk right before what we want to do, and we execute it on the spot. We don't have really any set tactics or whatnot. We just go with it.
But confident of a win still.
We're gonna do our best, but I do hope that we do win. It would be fun to play Very Games, mainly because like this is their home stage. It's ESWC. They won last year, and it's the same for example, for us, DreamHack winner. That's our home area. So it would be nice to play Very Games and also beat them one more time.
Well, always a pleasure to talk to you. I'll let you get back, sir. What he didn't tell you is that they had kind of 1 hour to wrap up all the interviews. They're very media savvy now in Ninjas in Pyjamas, so they were good enough to grant us one, of which I'm absolutely grateful as always. So to all the people out there who've been following our coverage, do stay tuned. We're going to have more interviews like this one from ESWC 2012.